We are having egg beaters with 1 whole egg, ham, green chili, and cottage cheese. And we have some Sara Lee toast here. Oh, we're watching our macros now, guys.
Let me tell you something!
No, we have a lot to talk about. Baby boy is taking his first nap. I don't know how long he's been napping for. Looks like 54 minutes and 46 seconds. Whoops. We have
a lot to talk about.
But Ricardo went to work today, so I also have a lot of stuff to do around the house. I'm gonna have some breakfast, watch some Bridgerton, and then once my baby boy wakes up, I will feed him and we'll get the rest of the day started. Nothing has changed in the department of how I run my house. I do intervals all day with whatever I need to get done. So today, what we need to do is we need to clean. I need to straighten my hair. It's going to take me basically all day to be able to do my hair. So I'm gonna start with that, and then I also had to film this video. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. So Jonah is down for his second nap, so I'm gonna try to at least crank out 1 section at a time. This is as far as I've gotten with my hair. Not much progress. I wanted to talk about my mental health this time around and being postpartum this time around. Again, guys, the dishwasher and my washer are going right now, so those are probably some of the noises that you're hearing in the background. So I very openly shared how my mental health was when I was a first-time mom and when it was just Jude, and I really struggled, and I think a lot of that was because I was grieving my life prior to kids. And so I think that this time around I kind of already knew what to expect. I was already in my routine with being a mom and just learning that role, that I don't feel like that part hit me as much. I do feel like I had some baby blues. It would come and go, but I definitely don't feel like I got hit with postpartum depression this time. I think that the way that I've been handling my emotions and the emotions that have been showing up in my life are pretty normal considering the outside factors outside of being postpartum, if that makes sense. I guess this is a good segue because even though I feel like I did not get hit with postpartum depression this time, one thing that I've been experiencing that I think is different is postpartum rage. The word rage is such a strong word, but what I've been noticing is just I've been so much more irritable. I have much less patience with Jude. I don't know if I just have less patience or because she's 2.5 now, she's just really testing boundaries. But I've been having a hard time this season of life enjoying her as much as I was before. I feel like we're bumping heads a lot. I think it's impacting both of us that when we do spend time together, it's like we're always clashing and fighting, and I'm constantly redirecting her behavior or just dealing with tantrums and stuff. So it's hard. It's hard because I feel like that's all our time is right now. Whereas before, there was a lot of time to play and a lot less screaming matches, and it's hard to know if it's postpartum rage or if it's just her age, if it's just the unhealed parts of me as a parent who's trying to be a first generation gentle parent, or I don't know how to label it, but I know that the season that Jude and I are in right now has been rough. Even with Jonah, sometimes I feel pretty impatient with him, and it's weird because logically I know in my head, like, why are you getting impatient with Jude or Jonah when they're babies, when they're kids? And I felt kind of weird opening up about this because I think that you hear a lot about postpartum depression, but not so much this postpartum rage. And again, I don't know if that's what it is, but I definitely sense a shift in my level of patience with both of them, and it doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel normal to me. Even I recognize it. Logically, I know that these babies don't think the way that I think because they're babies. They don't know. They don't have the life experience. Like, I have to teach them everything. I don't know if I'm just overstimulated with the things that are being piled on top of me aside from motherhood and being a stay-at-home mom. And And let me tell you, being a stay-at-home mom with 2 babies is so much harder because you're constantly being needed for something. And with Jonah being so small, like, I barely get any autonomy. And I bring this up because it's something that I'm going to address in therapy and that I want to address, because I don't like the way that it makes me feel. I don't like the mom that I am when I feel that angry and stressed and irritable. I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. On the other end of the spectrum, this is something that I've noticed a lot lately, and maybe you guys have noticed it throughout my videos as well, but there has been such an improvement with my anxiety, my social anxiety, and I really noticed it recently after having Jonah, because I have been going to the gym whenever I get the chance, and that's a big win for me, because you guys know that I have a really hard time doing things out of my regular routine. I was always so afraid to go to the gym at a different time or to go to a different gym. Maybe some of you guys remember, maybe some of you don't, but I used to struggle with even having to park in a different parking space because of how debilitating my anxiety and my OCD were at times. But now I feel like I'm kind of living a normal human experience now that I don't feel as much anxiety, and I think that is coming from exposure therapy and building my confidence. I'm trying to do a lot more of the things that make me feel uncomfortable and just trying to show myself like,
yes, this is uncomfortable, this sucks, but you're gonna do it.
And then when I do it, I feel all of these endorphins. I'm kind of chasing what's making me feel more confident, because it's nice to not feel like, I don't know how to explain it, like, this is the only way I could explain it, like the world is collapsing in on you depending on this one decision, depending on this one thing going right. And again, it could just be my OCD, but I don't feel that as much anymore. I've even pumped my own gas multiple times and not had a panic attack. So that's really nice. And then with that, I think it's just been also really focusing on not black and white thinking this time around when it comes to parenting. As you guys know, with Jude, I really struggled. Not only was I moving away from my structured life and having this perfect routine for me as just a wife and not a mom yet, but it was hard for me to also know that I was raising a baby who was going to be unpredictable, as babies should be. Whereas this time around, I understood and even learned more that every baby is different. No baby is predictable every day as a mom. Once I learned to accept that, I think that that really helped me with my parenting experience. That really helped me in my marriage, and I think it's helping my kids too, because it's also helped them develop more comfort around things changing constantly. And all of that, I think, is thanks to just going with the flow. I'm trying. That doesn't mean I'm good at it, right? I'm definitely flowing a lot more this time around than when I was a first-time mom. And then in turn, I think with the building of the confidence, with working through the anxiety, with the black and white thinking, I've started to see a big improvement in my relationship with food and body. I'm training again, I'm tracking macros again, as you guys have seen, and I feel good. I'm coming at myself a lot more with self-compassion, and it's a lot easier to do this time around than when I first got diagnosed with my eating disorders. And I just think that that's such a big win. I think it's a big win that I'm using the tools that I used to use to be smaller to make sure that I'm actually getting enough to nurture my body the way that it is now, to make sure that I have energy to get throughout my day. My training in the gym has changed significantly. I think there's quite a bit of a difference between the way that I trained in the past to the way that I'm training now. I think back then it was more so working out, and now it's actually training. I don't know, guys, there's just been such a big shift and difference in my mind. And I've talked about this on Instagram before, but I think with the training thing, I think what has impacted me as well is I kind of did get pregnant back to back. And being in a pregnant body and being in pain, as you guys saw through some of my videos, it's just not it. And I think when you're somebody who is active in a body that isn't as abled as before, it's very frustrating, and it's almost like you learn not to take your body for granted. You learn not to take your health for granted. It's so nice for me to be able to sit on the floor with Jude now and play like we used to. It just feels good to take care of my body. I feel good and I feel different this time, and I'm just really grateful that I'm not in the same headspace that I was in the first time around. Do you want to go with Mommy to get some donuts?
Yes. I say yes.
Okay. Well, I need to get ready, okay?
I'm Santa, Mama.
You want what?
I'm Santa.
You're Santa?
Ho, ho, ho.
Are you Santa or you're a ghost?
I'm a ghost.
Ooh. You ready to go? Let's go get some donuts. Oh, thank you, baby. I don't want to wear those, so I'm going to wear my chanclas.
Give me the find it. What's it?
¿Ya te pusiste los calzones?
No.
¿Y luego?
Anyhow.
Tienen los zapatos al revés.
Fix your shoes.
So let's talk about something that I've been experiencing as a mother. My child has grown, and I don't know where she got this from. I mean, I'm scared of bugs, but not to the extent to where she is. Like, she's afraid to walk outside our door if one of us isn't holding her because she's afraid of bugs. She thinks that they're coming out of shower drains and things like that. I don't know how to help her deal with that. And then another thing that we've been dealing with is a lot of shouting and a lot of talking back. And I don't know how to correct it because I don't know that she understands when I tell her not to talk back or not. You know, I don't know.
A few moments later.
Yep, we have to order our donuts. Nope, that was it.
Perfect. That'll be.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course.
Make my boo-boo better now.
Here she is.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.
Thank you. No, not yet, baby.
Sorry.
Not yet, girl.
Here's that drink, and we'll have those donuts out in just a
Okay,
second.
thank you. Oh, we need our donuts still. Oh, so good. Así no se piden las cosas. Okay, here we have, I don't know what we have in there, but we have some. And then here in this box, we have these ones.
I like this one.
Rise and Roast has really gone to the top for superior lattes for me. So I got a sugar-free latte, and then this is what I dream about. This is cinnamon twist.
You want to check? Let me show you.
Okay, show me. But now let's talk about my physical health now that I'm postpartum and basically done with the 4th trimester.